interfering in labour relations. Testifying before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today, Ngqiza says he worked under 5 city managers in Ekurhuleni, with Mashazi being the first to politically interfere in his work. This was in reference to the 2023 internal investigation into now suspended EMPD head Julius Mkhwanazi. A probe was undertaken following allegations that Mkhwanazi unlawfully struck a deal between the EMPD and tender tycoon Vusimuzi Kat Matlala.
Senior management, for the first time, was hell-bent on protecting an employee, regardless of procedures of the municipality and processes of the municipality. Senior management acted as if they are shop stewards of this employee.
Let's take you to Parliament now, where Minister Senzo Mchunu Chief of Staff, Cedric Ngabinde, has told the House how he got to know controversial businessman Brown Mokgotsi. Ngabinde says he started interacting with Mokgotsi when Mchunu asked him to set up meetings between them. Ngabinde is currently testifying before Parliament's ad hoc committee, which is looking into allegations of police corruption. He started his testimony by taking MPs through his relationship with Mchunu and his tasks as the Chief of Staff. Ngabinde says he did not know Mokgotsi until he got his number from Minister Mchunu.
No, in facilitating those meetings, Brown Mokgotsi had to know my number and I have to know his number, because now I'm facilitating. Minister gave me Brown Mokgotsi's number for me to facilitate with Brown Mokgotsi. Then in turn, Brown Mokgotsi ended up knowing me.
To the courts now, Zimbabwean opposition leader Job Sikala has been granted 10,000 rand bail. Sikala appeared before the Pretoria Magistrates Court today facing charges of possession of explosives. He was arrested last week after police allegedly discovered the explosives in his vehicle while he was driving in the capital with a relative. His lawyer, Normal Maluleka, says Sikala will comply with all the bail conditions.
And so forth, that he is not the kind of man that can simply disappear without anybody noticing that he's no longer showing face or disappears into thin air. He's got strong family ties in South Africa and Johannesburg within your worship's jurisdiction.
Staying in the courts, the case against a woman accused of deliberately running over a group of teenagers in Ekurhuleni in June has taken a shocking turn today. 68-year-old Martha van der Walt now faces 3 additional charges, including a murder charge. She is accused of ploughing her car into a group of young girls during a coming-of-age ceremony. She has appeared in the Germiston Magistrates Court today. Thandoluhle Ngcobo reports.
What began as a culpable homicide case has now turned into a murder case. She also faces additional charges of attempted murder and failure to stop after driving through a group of people. 68-year-old Martha van der Walt faces 4 charges in total. The prosecution made the decision to add the additional charges after reviewing video footage of the incident where the accused is allegedly seen driving through a group of girls. 15-year-old Priti Mahlangu died on her way to hospital after the incident. Thandoluhle Ngcobo, Eyewitness News.
And in Australia, a fortune teller has been arrested for scamming people of $46 million. The 53-year-old was arrested along with her daughter yesterday, and police allege the mother convinced her victims to take out loans, keeping a share for herself by telling them she foresaw a billionaire in their future. She faces 39 charges, including directing the activities of a criminal group and dishonestly obtaining financial advantage by deception. The daughter is charged with 7 offences, including recklessly dealing with proceeds of crime and being part of a criminal group. Gold is trading at $4,239.48 an ounce. The rand is at 16.96 to the dollar, 22.32 to the pound, 19.71 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $62.71 a barrel.
In Poisons, heading into the Joburg CBD, we still have slow-moving traffic on the M1 northbound. This is between Poisons Road and the Crown Interchange. Calvin Alex area also roadworks causing heavy delays already. This is on the N3 southbound between the Batlu Interchange and London Road, and also look out for delays in the Sunwood Park area on the N17 eastbound.
Gauteng is partly cloudy today with isolated afternoon thundershowers expected. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 30 and 32 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Police in KZN are expected to address media this afternoon to clarify some of the evidence presented before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Hello and a very good afternoon to you. I'm Jane Dutton. I'm in for Relebogile today and tomorrow. And you might have noticed if you're living in Johannesburg that it's getting a glow up ahead of the G20 summit next weekend. The city's been scrubbed, patched and polished. Potholes filled, pavements swept, streetlights flickering back to life. All for the world leaders flying in, obviously minus Donald Trump and Argentina's Javier Milei, who've both decided to skip the party. We'll be sending them pictures so they can see how beautiful the city is looking. So here's the question for you. How do you feel about it when we live with broken roads, filth and dry taps, and suddenly, when the spotlight's on, it all gets fixed? Does it make you proud that Joburg can shine when it wants to, or angry that it takes foreign guests for things to work? And is the question this: what's really broken, the infrastructure or our priorities? Call in, I'd really love to get your take on this. Then in Belief Matters, we're diving into something a little more mystical. Japan's lucky cat. I mean, you've seen it, I'm sure, the little figurine with a paw raised, waving from shop counters. But what's the real story behind it? Why is the Maneki Neko believed to bring good fortune? Why do we still hold on to lucky symbols in a digital age? Do you have anything like this? And I have to say, this really resonates with me because as a child, I thought I was Japanese. And I burst into tears when my parents told me I wasn't, and I never had that cat. At 2 o'clock, it's our Consumer Hour with Wendy Nola. She's taking your calls and helping you fight back when the system fails you. Today, we'll be talking about companies offering to consumers often added as the default when they don't need things that we need and that we've already covered by law. You can call us on 011-883-0702. Tweet us at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 or at Jane Dutton. You can email us at 702afternoons at 702.co.za. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702. You can leave voice notes there. You can get in touch with us on Facebook. And you can also SMS us on 31702.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
I know this is something that affects each and every one of us. I mean, you drive through areas even close to where the president lives, and I know the lights are always on there, but they're big dongers in the road. So we're all affected by the crumbling infrastructure, the lack of electricity, the refuse that doesn't get collected. And we're asking the question, how do you feel about this being cleaned up ahead of the G20 summit, which is happening next weekend? I mean, it's looking beautiful, isn't it? Roads that possibly they'll only drive down just once. Some messages on Facebook. KG says sewage blockage, and our municipality says they don't have cars to come and unblock it. Spiwe Shaba says all of the above. It's been more than 10 years. Nurul Iman says aside from the potholes and Sylvia's Pass being undrivable, home hijacking, lots of empty homes in the Observatory Johannesburg area, and they're being hijacked by syndicates who use illegal electricity and water. They don't keep the house and outside clean, and it's just a mess. Also, owners have tried evicting them with no luck. I mean, that is one of the problems, isn't it? When somebody gets into your home and you can't get them out. If they're not paying, they're not cleaning. They seem to have all of the rights, okay? Conray says filth and dumping. That's Ward 82 in Johannesburg. And I'm just wondering, I mean, do you have a good counsellor that you can speak to? I remember meeting somebody once and she showed me some comments, some WhatsApps from her counsellor. And every single day there's an update on what is going on. And you can get hold of that counsellor. I mean, ours is missing in action. The only time we've really seen him in action was, I remember during COVID, and one little cafe was selling coffee, obviously illegally. And that cafe owner was spotted and outed by our counsellor at a time when actually, everybody needed a little bit of dosh. Not that I'm saying you should break the rules, but you know exactly what I mean. I mean, a friend of mine where she lives has had a pothole for for a very long time, more than 18 months. And it looks like the Garden of Eden now. But she's had to resort to getting in touch with the ombudsman to come and fix it. So I want to know, I mean, what is it that you do? How have you managed to get something fixed, a pothole, electricity that doesn't work? Mr. Lee says, Earlove Street exit, running water for almost a month now. They started fixing it, and now the road stands with a big hole and water coming out. Mohammed Paruk says, just not going to get through all of the above, not quick enough on the turnaround times. I mean, I think that is one of the problems, right? As, going back again to my friend with this big donga in the street, you can complain about it, you can raise it, you can protest about it. Not that we protest about things like that, but and very little gets done. So what do you think should be done? Daryl says it's not just the fact that they can do repairs for G20, but look how quickly they've got it done compared to years of doing absolutely nothing. It shows it can be done. Our politicians just don't care. That's Daryl in Linden. And Daryl, I mean, I think that's the thing that's really wound me up. And, this is not meant to be a half an hour or more of complaining. We want to talk about the priorities and the fact that it can be done. If the will is there, there is the way. It can be done. It can be done efficiently. The money can be found and the changes made. It can be done. We've got a voice note from Dion talking about when guests come around, the house shall be clean, which obviously refers to what's happening at the G20.
Two landers. I think we're all of this. Some of us grew up in households where our parents used to have specific cutlery in China for guests, those that are only used when guests come around. When guests come to your house, the house is cleaned. The sofa we used to call them doilies. I don't know what they're called now, but yeah, the house looks extremely clean. So I think it's just a version of that the government is doing. But yeah, I'm not impressed at all. As someone who has lived in Johannesburg now for the last 32 years, I'm not impressed to see it all speak and span when these guys are coming. Thanks.
And you also know it's ego, right? It's you coming to Johannesburg and I'm the mayor, for example, and I don't want them seeing actually in what sort of state we have let it get to. So I'm going to clean it up and smoke and mirrors kind of thing, and nobody's going to know. But I don't know if you've seen some of the documentaries. There's one on the BBC recently where they're going to inner Joburg and shows just how sordid it has become, the decay there, the conditions that people are living in, some of the buildings that are hijacked. I mean, they say that there's something like more than 200, 300 buildings which are hijacked and obviously using electricity illegally. So, just shining on the outskirts is, at least it's been done, but it's absolutely not enough. We're going to take a spot break now. And then afterwards, I want to get some of your comments, some of your calls. Give us a call and tell us what you think about Joburg cleaning up ahead of the G20 and what should our priorities be. I know that a whole lot of ladies, activists, are going to be protesting over gender-based violence. I mean, is that where the money should be going? Should it be going towards better schooling? Let me know your thoughts.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Piano at the age of 4, did someone get you interested in it, or is it something that you just found fascinating already at that young age?
It was my mother who was interested in it. So I'm the last of 5. My mother said that she had tried to get the other siblings in, but they started a bit later. And so I started quite early with my piano lessons, and I stuck with it. It was very challenging because practice time always had to happen before you go outside and play with your friends.
Tandintuli.
Clement Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Classics on Turf is back, where golf and classical music meet in one unforgettable Johannesburg night. Join 702 at Kalani Country Club on Friday, 14th of November, as Kutwano Masote leads a full orchestra bursting with energy, colour and rhythm. Sharing the stage, Judith Sepuma brings her velvet voice and unmatched charm to a proudly South African musical celebration. Your ticket includes delicious canapes and welcome drinks, and with a rainproof setup, the show goes on no matter the weather. Book now at cricket.co.za. Classics on Turf is proudly made possible by Telkom and brought to you in partnership with 702.
Enjoy the thrill of the Soccer Punches Challenge Weekend Edition, an all-new platform from Hollywood Bets. You stand a chance to win a share of the 5 million rand jackpot when you bet 5 rand or more on selected EPL matches over the weekend and correctly predict 10 out of 10 winning margins. Or chase the share of the 50,000 rand leaderboard prize. Entry is free. Let this soccer season bring sizzling success. Bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is licensed by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
At Chamberlain's, there's something for everyone. From building supplies for the home renovators to garden essentials for the homemakers. From power tools for the DIY doers to painting supplies for the patio Picassos. We even have coffee for the slightly sleepy and snacks for the young ones. And for the ones who can never quite find what they're looking for, we have you covered too. With our promise to find and source whatever you need. Chamberlain's, famous for hardware since 1903.
For the first time on African soil, business leaders from across the globe will gather for the B20 Summit in Sandton from 18th to 20th November. On the agenda is inclusive growth and prosperity through global cooperation. This Tuesday, the Clement Maniatella Show will be in conversation with Nedbank to discuss all the news, views and insights. Live from the B20 Summit. So tune in to 702 in conversation with Nedbank. Proud sponsors of the B20 Summit. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
And you with me, Jane Dutton, this afternoon, and we are discussing the issues that you're dealing with in your street or in your community, things like potholes and broken drains and leaking water pipes. And how long have you been waiting for them to be fixed? What did you do to get them fixed, if you were lucky enough to get them fixed? And what are the issues that affect you every single day? What is it that you are seeing? Before that spot break, I was mentioned that we have heard of GBV activists who'll be protesting at the G20. They're going to be lying on the roads and raising this scourge in our communities. It's a disgrace. I mean, government says it is a priority, but we know really it's not. And some of the people who put in charge of dealing with this are not of the right caliber, and they clearly have absolutely no interest. So what is it that we need to do? I mean, should we be protesting like some communities are? And what is the message? Because what we've seen with the G20, it can be done. So give me a call. I really want to know. And WhatsApp me too, 072 702 1702, and we'll play your voice note. I really want to know the main issues that are affecting your community, that those who come to the G20 next weekend are not even going to notice because they go down these beautiful new roads, and I don't know if you've even seen the zebras down some of them, and they're cleaning the bridges, and everything is going to look pristine, and it's going to be looking like the city that we should be, this powerhouse in Africa. I got a message on Facebook from Sibu saying, I live in Khayelitsha, Cape Town. We have no such issues. If we do, they are attended to promptly. I mean, Cape Town really is an example of what it is that we could become. I mean, what is your image of Johannesburg if we were to take in the Cape Town's playbook where the focus is on fixing things the minute it happens? I mean, I know if there's a water issue in my suburb, it gets drilled, the diggers come, they drill it out, fix the water, and then the road is left open and unusable for months and months. Tutu Mnisi says, good afternoon, Jane. How do we expect things to run properly when we are ruled by criminals? All they know is how to steal and kill each other. Okay, so yeah, I think we've been seeing from the Madlanga inquiry that we are ruled by criminals. And when you have somebody like some of the rulers in Cape Town, for example, who are possibly not looking over their shoulders because they are corrupt, then you can actually get the work done. And we've got somebody like Dada Morero who suddenly realized, whoa, next year there's a race for a new mayor, so I need to get things done. I mean, he stated on the 11th of November that the bomber squad has introduced a new culture of urgency and accountability in Johannesburg. I'm just wondering, have you seen that? Judy says there's a broken sewer system at the end of Roxham Road in Paul's of Santon, the street where the Porsche dealership is located. There's an Eskom installation in this yard too. The smell that the residents near the area have to deal with from the broken sewer is sickening. The problem has remained unattended to for many months. And Judy, I'm just wondering, who did you get in touch with? Has anybody got back to you to say, this is unacceptable, this is what we are going to fix? And who's had a success story other than that listener from Khayelitsha? I mean, what is it that we need to do? Have you given up waiting? I mean, the South African government has budgeted about 691 million rand in preparation for the summit. A civil society group has noted that the city is spending at least 1 billion rand on hosting the event and related visibility efforts. The city's wider infrastructure backlog in Johannesburg is estimated around 200 billion needed to fix roads, water and electricity systems. And I know some opposition parties have been concerned about this bomb squad, saying that it's just it's back down to politics again, and it's really just going to be linked to people with ANC connections. But tell me, what should our priorities be? Yes, we should absolutely be fighting gender-based violence. Yes, we should absolutely be getting better schooling, paying doctors and nurses a whole lot better, better infrastructure. And the thing is, we can do it. So we could have a beautiful Johannesburg. So tell me, how long have you been waiting? How have these service delivery issues affected your daily life or your businesses? I mean, only 26.9% of residents in a 2018 survey, I should imagine it hasn't got any better, in KwaZulu-Natal strongly agree to that roads around where they live were regularly maintained and potholes fixed. In 2023 and 24, the annual report by the South African National Roads Agency, SANRAL, said there were 57,783 potholes logged across provinces. In the same report, provinces like Gauteng logged 29,790 potholes in that period. I mean, there was some amusing comments about the potholes in my area. Some people had painted around them swear word ANC. Anyway, those got cleaned up pretty quickly. We've got a call on the line from Edenvale. William. Hello, William. What are your comments about what you've seen?
Good afternoon, Jane. Thanks for taking my call. My comment isn't really about what I'm seeing. Well, we all know what we're seeing. My comment relates to Josie, my Josie.
Okay, go ahead.
As honorable as what they're doing is, and it is honorable, I have a problem with what they're doing, because the more we take upon ourselves to do, the less this pathetic government is going to do.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my.
I mean, so for example, where my mum lives, the road is, I mean, it's almost undrivable. And I was just, some pictures were sent to me today. And she's been putting money in every month, as is everyone else in that area, to fix up the road because nobody ever comes. That's in the Mfuleni area. Nobody ever comes.
Yeah, let's be honest, it's pathetic, it's disgraceful, it's disgusting.
So what do you think? Okay, so if we don't take it on ourselves, and we know that nobody else is, what is the alternative?
Well, I know time is of the essence because accidents and things because of avoiding a pothole and that kind of thing. But next year, South Africa, this ANC government needs to go. We need a government that is aligned with the free Western world, and this country will blossom and bloom overnight. So do it at the polls. We need to do it at the polls.
No, you're absolutely right. And, we need to make our voices known, and I'm not sure how we do that other than complaining. You want some constructive criticism to get it moving. William from Edenvale, good to hear from you. And he raises an important point that when we start doing it ourselves, then who's ever responsible thinks, well, why should we get involved? OMG, Martin Berry says Bramley really needs an investigation. 4th Street, Wynberg on the road had a big deep hole where water and sewage was mixing and power lines were also running there. It took a year or two to get fixed, only after a TV station got involved. And Laura Kathleen says absolutely all and more. Tswana is like a pigsty. We're just, referring to the potholes and everything that seems to be going wrong. And it seems that none of us are immune, right? I mean, there's another comment here regarding construction of roads in Joburg. It's just temporary. Joburg's been the problem since 2000 up until now. Ward 56, Councillor Michael Critton, the areas are Rosettenville, Townsville, The Hill, Extension Oakdean, Eastcliff, Lynmere, Carousel, and your councillor is hands-on, gives us an update every day and reports back on progress timelessly. A great councillor. Calling out to you, Michael Critton. Well done. Congratulations. And that's what we need, right? I mean, we really need to have councillors who can do the job for us, the one with the connections.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
These questions, what kind of man are you? What kind of woman are you? Don't do that. If there's nothing else you can take from our experience of 702 and the conversations we have, let it be that we educate each other, not just about politics and current affairs, but we educate each other about how to be better people and to also accept there's a hell of a lot we just don't know, and that's okay.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
What do partners of the Gates Foundation do when facing the world's toughest challenges? They keep going. From discovering a plastic drape that helps detect excessive postpartum bleeding faster, to developing better bed nets to kill malaria-carrying mosquitoes, to researching an RSV vaccine that could save hundreds of thousands of children. For every problem, there are people who prove that progress is possible. The Gates Foundation, partners of human potential. Learn more at gatesfoundation.org/keep going.
Smart Steve from Momentum, hello.
How's it, Butch? It's Jason here, your favorite gymfluencer.
Jason, still lifting more than your selfie stick?
Always, Butch. Gotta stay shredded, eh? But, I'm worried about one thing. What if a major illness hits? Who's got my back?
Relax, Jason. Momentum's critical illness cover is your spotter. It offers the most comprehensive cover in the market.
Buddy, I'm signing up faster than I could do 10 reps. But I'm worried about something else, eh?
Let me guess. How many protein shakes it takes before you turn into the incredible bulk?
No, man. Will anyone notice if I skip a leg day?
Chat to your financial advisor about Momentum's critical illness cover. Momentum, protecting your journey to success. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Take the ultimate spin with 10bet and me, Andy Lengube, to win a luxury BMW X3. Join 10bet.co.za. Play selected games. Every 10 rands you play earns you points. Hit the top of the leaderboard and the prize could be yours. T's and C's apply. 10bet is a licensed betting operator and supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 shall be permitted to bet. Betting can be addictive. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. License number 921096661.
Standard Bank and 702 have joined forces to bring you China Unlocked.
Africa generally provides a massive opportunity for all tourists. People, Europe is largely saturated in tourism. I see in the Middle East significant numbers of tourists increasingly coming to this part of the world. Think Saudi Arabia, I think the UAE, Dubai in particular, Abu Dhabi, and increasingly. And it's all about creating connectivity, safety, and a good value proposition for tourists. We have a relatively cheap destination, generally speaking. It's, of course, there's a long-haul destination, but people want those unique experiences. We have to package it, market it, and sell it effectively.
Don't miss China Unlocked on 702 Drive with John Perlman. Tuesdays on 702. Brought to you by Standard Bank Business and Commercial, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
It's just after 1:30 and Bali's got the news headlines.
Thanks, Jane. Good afternoon. Acting Deputy Police Commissioner in KZN, Anthony Gopal, says provincial police have looked through 29 cases across the province that James Sharnick is linked to. He says 10 were for theft of motor vehicles, while 8 were linked to carjackings. Gopal is briefing the media this afternoon to clarify some of the evidence presented before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Police Minister Senzo Mchunu's Chief of Staff, Cedric Ngabinde, says he is close friends with KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and they even travelled together on personal errands. Ngabinde also says Mkhwanazi helped him to find a job when he was unemployed after leaving the Independent Police Investigative Directorate. He has been giving evidence before Parliament's ad hoc committee, which is investigating allegations of police corruption as well as interference. And in the courts, Zimbabwean opposition leader Job Sikala has been granted 10,000 rand bail. Sikala appeared before the Pretoria Magistrates Court today, facing charges of possession of explosives. He was arrested last week after police allegedly discovered explosives in his car while he was driving in the capital city. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 2 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage in the Sunwood Park area, we still have those roadworks slowing down traffic. N17 eastbound between Rondebolt and Carnival City. Also in the Calvin Alex area, we still have bumper-to-bumper traffic due to roadworks on the N3 southbound between the Patloo Interchange and London Road. Heading into the Joburg CBD, there's slow-moving traffic in Boysens. This is M1 northbound between Boysens Road and the Crown Interchange, while in four-ways, look out for those faulty traffic lights. That's at Witkoppen and Cedar. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Good to be with you. In the last half an hour, I was asking you about the issues that you face every single day, whether it's potholes or water issues or whatever it is, and how you feel about Joburg getting this douche and sprinkling and everything is being fixed up, and how it makes you feel. And if we've got the right priorities there, I mean, should it be fixing up Joburg or should it be prioritizing something else? And there's some of the messages that we got. And Tombi Piri says, I stay in Tembisa. This township has so much unemployment, but people love and clean their homes, taking pride, cleaning of windows, curtains, clean, sweeping the yards. It was if it's a competition. Till we have people coming from all over occupying walking pavements to do business, and it's not going to change. And I said, what is it that we should do? Athol says, if we stop paying rates and taxes and we spend that money fixing whatever needs to be done, we can get it right, but it must be lots of people. Athol from Florida. Karabo, what do you think? You deal a lot with the with the roads and the
Yeah.
infrastructure and all of that? What do you see?
So in my neighborhood, I live in Soweto, and the big problem that I face every now and again, and I think there was a Soweto marathon. It's a big international race where they run obviously around Soweto, and the issue that a lot of people picked up was the sewage issue.
Oh,
where
no.
we have sewage just running down the road. So I don't know what is the issue, but we have frequent sewage flowing on our roads in Soweto, and I don't seem to see the municipality finding a problem. I mean, the solution to this, because
And
it's
extraordinary that they
obviously
couldn't
it's a
even
hazard,
pick
it's
it
a
up
health
for something
hazard.
like that, right? Where money is coming into the
Yes.
area, people are seeing it, that there isn't even that kind of, okay, well,
Urgency.
we should be proud of this.
Yeah, so it's a big problem in my neighborhood. And the other one is the dumping. But I guess that's the community's problem, because that's where we have to educate each other not to dump. But also the government or the municipality must come through and kind of have programs to educate people, saying, guys, dumping is actually not right. It's illegal. It's a health hazard. And so
Unless we
forth.
do it like Rwanda, right, where once a week everyone gets onto the streets and cleans up
Yeah.
their own
Oh,
streets.
wow.
That might have to be the way to go. Thanks for that, Karabo, and thank you for all of your message on this topic. We're going to get more from you in a minute. All right, let's talk about why.
Hi, John. Good afternoon. John here from Ukuruleni. Well, the right thing to do is we, the people, must get together, force the G20 convoy to go through London Road and Alex, so the world can see the human rights abuses under the ANC government. I think it's just enough. It actually needs solved. Take yourself a drive through London Road into Alex, and then you will see what kind of government we have. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your comments. I mean, they're still coming in, and obviously we are all hit with a plethora of problems. I mean, the thing is, hopefully, what we're seeing in Johannesburg, we can keep it going. You know, we must insist that this is what we absolutely deserve. We work together as communities, and we can get the most beautiful city on the continent.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
All right, in Belief Matters, why the cat figurine is believed to bring good luck in Japanese culture. And I want to hear from you about this kind of topic as well. We're exploring the fascinating traditions and symbols and spiritual meanings that shape cultures around the world. And obviously we're turning our attention to Japan, where a small beckoning cat figurine has captured hearts and imaginations for centuries. And you've probably seen it perched near shop entrances or restaurant counters, a paw raised in greeting, moving back and forth. But what's the story behind this charming symbol of fortune and prosperity? The man is going to tell us. Ryan Keat, cultural assistant at the Information and Cultural Center of the Embassy of Japan in South Africa. Very good afternoon to you. Tell us about this cat. What's the story behind it?
Very much. Good afternoon, Jane, and good afternoon to your listeners. Yes, the Maneki Neko is the beckoning cat that you're talking about. You're quite correct. It is a figurine of a cat. Usually it's a white calico cat, white, black, and orange. And it's more specifically a Japanese bobtail with a short tail. And you're quite correct in that it is seen at the entrances to shops and businesses, and of course to bring in good luck, wealth, also protection, and customers in general.
But how did we get there in the first place? I mean, I gather it stems from an event that happened in the 17th century.
You are quite correct. Of course, that is known as the Edo period in Japanese history. And the legend of the Maneki Neko means cat, started at the Gotokuji Temple. Now, the Gotokuji Temple is in Tokyo. And what happened there was a poor priest from a very impoverished temple. And he used to give some food to this cat by the name of Tama. Now, Tama is a very popular name for cats in Japan, by the way. And the story goes on, and on a stormy day, there was a very wealthy lord walking nearby the temple, and he thought that he saw Tama the cat beckoning him to come towards the temple. So he was first under a tree, and as he moved away from the tree, a huge bolt of lightning struck the tree. And from this legend, of course, he realized that the cat had saved his life. And being a wealthy lord, he started donating lots of money to this temple. And when the cat eventually died, they made a statue in its likeness. And from there, the Maneki Nekos became a symbol of good fortune and protection.
So you can see why it's linked to bringing good luck. And I know that
Yes.
there's a meaning behind the different raised paws and also the different colors. Talk us through that.
You are quite correct. So when you see one with a raised left paw, which invites customers into a shop, good for a restaurant or a shop like that, the raised right paw is to bring in money, beckons wealth and good fortune. If both paws are raised, it offers protection, usually for the home or for a business. And then the colors are also quite interesting. If it's a white cat, it's usually for overall good fortune. A special bold one, obviously for financial prosperity. There's also a black one, is to protect from evil. Red for health, and then pink, obviously, for romance.
And I guess nothing's stopping you from buying all of them.
You can buy them all. And in fact, the place to buy them is at the Gotokuji temple in Tokyo. People go there to purchase the cat.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you about that purchase because you don't want sort of consumerism coming in and going, oh, we make lots of money out of this. Let's bang them out and put them in the airports and all of that kind of thing. Is there a specific place to buy it so that you know that it's got good holding?
Well, of course, the original place of Tama the cat at Gotokuji Temple, which is in Setagaya in Tokyo, that would be the best place. What they used to do is people used to purchase them, which obviously is a donation to the temple, and then they would leave it at the temple. But I think they're overcrowded with these cat figurines now. They actually encourage the visitors to take them home with you until your dream or your wish or your fortune has come in. So, that's...
And what stories have you heard linked to this, whether it's success in romance or financially?
Well, obviously, the popularity of the Maneki Neko is because, people believe, they have a belief and a faith in the fact that it does work. So, rather have it than not have it, I suppose.
Yeah. And I mean, do you find that in this day and age, these kind of traditions are still held on to, that people still believe in them? I mean, we certainly in the modern digital age now, does it still resonate as much as it used to?
I think that superstitions are often maybe deeply embedded in your culture, your religion or family traditions that gets passed down from generation to generation, which obviously gives a sense of connection to our heritage and community. And, that's something that, social media and technology can't really take away.
And I mean, I know with Feng Shui, there's, all sorts of things that you should do and you shouldn't do. And I think if you leave your shoes on the table, which you shouldn't do anyway, it could bring you bad luck. I mean, is there a feeling sometimes that if you don't have the right one with you, if you've forgotten where it is, if you've broken its arm, that it could also usher in a period of bad luck?
I don't think so, no. I think it's just something that it's as I said, better to have than not to have. But if you don't have your cat, then I think, all is good. As long it's the heart and the faith and the belief behind what you're doing that really matters.
Okay, so we're talking about the Maneki Neko. This is a lucky charm for the Japanese, and I should imagine many people buy it and embrace it. And I'd love to hear if you've got something, the listeners, if you've got something at home or in the workplace that you take with you that is lucky for you, that you believe in, and possibly that you talk to. So give us a call on 011-883-0702, and you can also WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
For the best game viewing, you go to Mpumalanga. For the best whale watching, you go to Hermanus. And for the best in investments, go to Nedbank. Earn up to 7.6% interest with the Nedbank Just Invest account and access your funds within 24 hours. For better returns, go with Nedbank. See money differently. Nedbank. We're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
Let's count backward. 5. Insurance. 4. Pineapple. 3. Insurance. 2. Pineapple. 1. You're under. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
702.
Belief matters.
Exploring culture, traditions, religion,
and the beliefs that shape our world.
So we are talking about the fascinating traditions, as always, and the spiritual meanings of things. And in Japan, there is the Maneki Neko, or the beckoning cat. And our guest was telling us about how it's one of the most recognizable good luck charms. And I'm just wondering if you've got something similar, if you have something that you take with you. I mean, do you have a nodding dog in the car? Does it represent just something that you like, or does it have a spiritual meaning for you and spiritual clout? Ryan Keat is the guest, cultural assistant at the Information and Cultural Center of the Embassy of Japan in South Africa. Do you have one?
Not personally, no. But we do have the Maneki Neko keychains, which we purchased in Japan on our last trip there. So, they're always popular to have.
Mm. Okay, so if your belief in luck actually influences outcomes, do you think that is a case, or do you think it's more about mindset and positivity? Can you use something like this to focus you?
Yeah, I think belief is a very international or a very common denominator, universal concept. I mean, even in the Christian Bible, the things that remain is faith and hope, and faith and hope is the foundation. The combination of faith and hope is the combination for belief. And I think with the Japanese and the cats, I think the Japanese have a very strong affinity for cats. And it stems, not only from folklore, but because, cats used to keep away the rats and the mice from the silkworm industry, the silk industry. And then, of course, if you look at the appreciation of cat characters in Japanese culture, for example, Hello Kitty or Doraemon, the robotic cat, and even things like cat cafes. You can go and sip your coffee with cats in cats cafes, and there's even a cat island where the population of the cats are more so than the humans. So, Japanese culture has always been very, very closely linked to cats, and I think that is why it has a very strong affinity with the Maneki Neko.
I mean, it really is a fascinating culture, isn't it? I mean, I've been lucky enough to go there, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I was just thinking as you were talking, I have no idea how big what the size of the Japanese community is in South Africa. How big is it, and how tight is it?
Yeah, we have quite a number of Japanese company bases here in South Africa. Of course, the embassy and other agencies are here in South Africa. And then we do send South Africans to Japan. I was fortunate in 1997 to be part of the first group of 5 South Africans to go to Japan on the JET program, that is the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. And we send between 40 and 50 graduates a year. And if people are wanting to go and teach English in Japan, I strongly recommend that they go to our embassy's website, have a look at the JET program. Applications start in September every year. It'll be wonderful to take more South Africans to experience things like the maneki neko and a whole variety of interesting parts of Japanese culture.
I mean, when people ask you about it as a symbol, we know that some religions bulk at praying to or celebrating symbols because they see it as idolatry and worshipping rather the representation instead of the reality. What is your response to that?
No, I don't think it's religious at all in Japan. I think in Japan you celebrate Christmas, and then a few days later you celebrate New Year in Shintoism, and then you have Buddhism as well. So it's all different religions respected and embraced in Japan. So that's what makes it such a welcoming culture.
Mm. And the maneki neko, how has it changed over time from temple charm to global pop icon? What have you seen?
Well, I don't think it was a pop icon in Japan. I think it was just placed in shops and that. But I think when the West caught onto it, I mean, it's a cute character, and I think now we think of it as some sort of celebrity almost. But as I said, Japan has always had an affinity for cats, and if you think of Hello Kitty from the mid-70s, it's still going strong. So it's fantastic.
And I know that some of them hold coins and others hold bells or scrolls. What do those symbols stand for?
Yes, I suppose you can have various trinkets added to your cat. I mean, obviously, the ringing of the bell is usually if you go to a shrine, then you will first ring the bell before you say your prayer. So that's obviously related to that. And if it's got money on it, obviously you're wanting it to attract money or customers or whatever. So it's a wonderful tradition, obviously, and something to have if you're wanting to prosper in your business.
And the difference between superstition and spirituality, I mean, where do you think the lucky cat fits in here?
Oh, no, I don't think it's part of any specific religion. I think, fortunately, the story came from a temple, but it was obviously, in Japan there's a long tradition of cats bringing good fortune to people and having some mysterious quality, maybe even supernatural quality. But I don't think it's linked to any particular religion.
Why do you think people need to look for something that gives them luck? I mean, other than religion, I mean, what is it? Do you think it's a lack of confidence in ourselves that we can achieve it on our own, and that there's this inanimate object that can bring it to us?
I think it's just, people like to have something physical to hold on to. I mean, even, in the Christian religion, we look at the cross or whatever it is like that. And I think, as I said earlier, the passed down from traditions from generation to generation, and then you have some connection that's been around longer than you have.
Do you think that modern symbols like brand logos or emojis could eventually become today's version of the lucky cat?
I think it already has. I mean, if sports people think they'll run faster if they're wearing a particular brand, or jump higher if they've drunk certain potions or energy drinks, things like that. So definitely it does. We always look to something exterior rather than maybe looking inside us for strength and to achieve our goals.
And if somebody's not lucky enough to be able to hop on a plane and go to Japan, where can we buy one here?
My goodness, I'll have to search online. Unfortunately, we don't have them or sell them at our embassy, but I think you can definitely get them online. Or, as I said, you could always join one of our programs. Besides the JET program to teach English in Japan, we also have a scholarship program to study further in Japan. Please go to our embassy website to see these programs and apply for them, and maybe you can really be in Japan and visit the temple that sells, the Gotokuji temple that sells the cats.
Even better. Ryan Keat, Cultural Assistant at the Information and Cultural Centre of the Embassy of Japan in South Africa, talking to us about the cat figurine is believed to bring good luck in Japanese culture.
In the last 24 hours, this is what's happened in your world.
Just more than 15 months into the Government of National Unity, the DA is making the first changes to its executive lineup of 6 ministers and 6 deputy ministers. Leader John Steenhuisen says there was no malicious intent behind Dion George's removal.
Like any organisation and any government in the world, you assess how things are going and you obviously try and move people around to make sure you're getting the maximum benefit of that.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS Legal to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Unlock exciting bonus prizes when you top up your Betway account with a Betway Bucks voucher. From millions in cash and bonuses to extra bets and so much more, every top up is a chance to score big. Head over to leading retailers, including Pick n Pay, Checkers, Pep Stores, and Incredible Connection, and top up with Betway today. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. South African Responsible Gambling Program toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know when to stop.
Flight Centre's Big Red Sale is back. 21 October to 14 November. Save up to 50% on tours, 35% on cruises, and massive deals on Thailand, Mauritius, and the Maldives. Even local flights from 1,900 Rand return. Now that's a win. Plus, 2 kids stay and eat free on selected breaks. The world's waiting. The deals are calling. So, get to your nearest Flight Centre store today. T's and C's apply. Flight Centre, your centre for travel.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
So a little earlier on, I was asking you about some of the problems that you face living in Johannesburg and several other cities around here, and how you feel about the G20 coming up. The bigwigs are going to be here next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which obviously we're going to be covering, and how suddenly all the roads that lead to where the venue is being held, where the event is being held, have been cleaned. I mean, you've even got zebras on the streets. And I wanted to know your experience, how you felt about that, the fact that it can be cleaned up if you want to. We got a message from Anton van Eerden who said no street lights for 12 years. Wow, that's, I mean, how long does it take? Famida says street lights and some water issues were recently sorted. Was the order of the day. For so long we even forgot how street lights work. And we know that street lights are obviously incredibly important. I mean, it keeps people safe. Sewell says the ANC must go. Their pockets are never going to get full as their cronies while we suffer. Suddenly there's money for sorting out Johannesburg. Paseka says, I live in Bloemfontein, Free State, and the townships are full of potholes, sewage spills, and street lights are hollowed out of copper. Thank you so much for your messages. It is 2:00 now, time for the news.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Acting Deputy Police Commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal, Anthony Gopal, says provincial police have looked through 29 cases across the province that James Sharnik is linked to. He says 10 were for theft of motor vehicles, while 8 were linked to carjackings. Gopal has been briefing the media this afternoon to clarify some of the evidence presented before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Sharnik was recently identified as an acquaintance of suspended crime Detection head, Shadrack Sibia. He has now filed perjury and defamation charges against crime intelligence boss Dumsani Khumalo, accusing him of spreading false claims about him and his criminal record. Gopal says police were meticulous in looking into the cases that Shanik is linked to.
So as a result, in KwaZulu-Natal, we have then called for the profile of Mr. Stewart. We've looked at it in terms of cases where in KwaZulu-Natal he was a subject of investigation, where he was a alleged suspect in the particular matter. We have physically perused each and every one of those cases. And we've been through every single document in every single case file.
Police Minister Senzo Mchunu Chief of Staff Cedric Ngabinde says he's close friends with KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and they even travelled together on personal errands. Ngabinde also says Mkhwanazi helped him to find a job when he was unemployed after leaving the Independent Police Investigative Directorate. He has been giving evidence before Parliament's ad hoc committee, which is investigating allegations of police corruption and interference. Babalondenze reports.
Most of Cedric Ngabinde's evidence so far has focused on his relationship with KZN Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and suspended Minister Senzo Mchunu. Mkhwanazi had earlier testified that Ngabinde drove him to Minister Mchunu's private residence in KZN and they were on good terms. But Ngabinde says while Mkhwanazi may have been angry at Mchunu, they were still close.
General Mkhwanazi was a very close friend of mine. I think it's safe to say it was a boys' trip.
But Ngabinde distanced himself from controversial businessman Brown Mokgotsi, saying he got in touch with him through Mchunu.
The minister gave me Brown Mokgotsi's number for me to facilitate with Brown Mokgotsi. Then in turn, Brown Mokgotsi ended up knowing me.
Ngabinde's testimony continues, with MPs expected to question him this afternoon. Babalondense, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Zimbabwean opposition leader Job Sikhala has been granted 10,000 rand bail. Sikhala appeared before the Pretoria Magistrates Court today, facing charges of possession of explosives. He was arrested last week after police allegedly discovered explosives in his vehicle while he was driving in the capital. His lawyer, Normal Maluleka, says Sikhala will be complying with all the bail conditions.
And so forth, that he is not the kind of man that can simply disappear without anybody noticing that he's no longer showing face or disappears into thin air. He's got strong family ties in South Africa and Johannesburg within your worship's jurisdiction.
Musicians protesting in the Joburg CBD are demanding clarity about what is being done with their unpaid royalties. They are currently at the South African Music Rights Organisation's office to hand over a memorandum of demands. Musicians say they want justice for fellow artists who have had to put up with the issues at SAMRO. Ntokozo Khumalo is there.
A harmonious chorus of artists could be heard on the streets of Joburg as the frustrated musicians march to SAMRO's offices. They say the organisation needs ethical governance, adding that they need to protect the rights of artists as that is their objective. They say they stand against all forms of corruption which has affected artists for decades. Musician Nomsa Mazwai.
When I came to claim my money that I rightfully owned, which they had collected, they told me my money had prescribed. Because SAMRO is very good at collecting artists' money and they're terrible at paying artists their money. SAMRO collects close to R1 billion a year. Right now they've got a distribution rate, they report.
Mazwai adds musicians have had enough of being robbed of what belongs to them. Ntokozo Khumalo, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And in Spain, the Agriculture Ministry has ordered the immediate lockdown of all poultry due to the risk of bird flu. The order applies to all poultry farms, including organic operations and small-scale producers selling directly to consumers. Bird flu cases have been on the rise across Europe, with 139 cases reported since July and 14 in Spain. The measure also bans keeping ducks and geese with other poultry, as well as holding bird fairs as well as exhibitions. Gold is trading at $4,239.48 an ounce. The rand is at 16.96 to the dollar, 22.32 to the pound, 19.71 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $62.71 a barrel.
In the Calvin Alex area, we still have roadworks causing some delays on the N3 in both directions between London Road and the Batoon interchange. Look out for those faulty traffic lights in four ways, Witkoppen and Cedar, as well as in Edenville at Motorfontein Road and Van Riebeck.
Gauteng is partly cloudy with isolated afternoon thundershowers expected. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 30 and 32 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Acting Deputy Police Commissioner in KZN, Anthony Gopal, says provincial police have looked through 29 cases that James Sharnick is linked to.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Hello, good afternoon. It's 6 minutes after 2 o'clock. I'm Jane Dutton. I'm in for Relebogile. It's very good to be with you. We were talking about the G20 makeover that we've seen taking place in Johannesburg. Who could have thought that Johannesburg could look so beautiful in such a short period, that it could be fixed, potholes, lights, water, all of that kind of stuff. And the fact that so many of you were commenting on how beautiful it is that people can do something if they want to. In other words, our politicians, and how we must be careful that when we fix the roads, when we fix the potholes, etc., that it gives politicians an excuse not to do anything at all. And just also wondering if we shouldn't be putting this to better use, like fighting GBV and improving our schooling. It's 2 o'clock now, though, but it's our consumer hour with Wendy Nolan. She's taking your calls, you know the drill, and helping you fight back when the system fails you. Today, we're talking about the hidden costs in your purchases in the consumer feature. Are you paying for what is already covered? You know the drill. Give us a call, 011-883-0702. You can tweet us at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 afternoons or at Jane Dutton. You can also email me at 702afternoons at 702.co.za. You can WhatsApp me. We'll play your voice calls on 072 702 1702.
702.
Nolan knows.
Right, so we're talking about companies offering things that you don't really know is in there. Think package protection on products bought online and warranties sold on add-ons on used cars. What a cheek. Let's bring in Wendy to tell us a little bit more about this. What's going on there, Wendy? Good afternoon.
Hello, Jane Dutton. Good to be with you again.
Likewise.
Well, I think I'm going to school our listeners on some basics that they might not have occurred to them. Certainly, based on a response to something I posted on X earlier in the week. So let's talk about upsells first of all. So you want to buy a basic product, but the seller wants you to get committed to a whole lot more, right? It's better for their bottom line. And there are a whole lot of ways they go about doing it. So the retailers, when you open accounts, think Edgar's, TFG, they call it VAS, value-added services. Okay. Value-added services, as far as I'm concerned, is better referred to as profit-added add-ons for the companies, right? You really got to ask yourself who's winning with these. So you go to open an account, as I said, and then they want you to get committed to all sorts of extras. So there's club memberships. There's yet another funeral policy. How many do you actually need? Rather be buying a better life insurance cover. There's credit life, etc. So on the far end, I recently took up a case of Cedric. He went to a branch of the Sneaker Factory, which is part of TFG, the Fashini Group. He wanted to buy some trainers. They would cost 1,400 Rand, and he had cash. And while he was waiting to pay for them, a salesperson offered him a 140 Rand discount, in other words, 10%, if he opened a TFG account. Okay, cool, he thought, and he had every intention of opening the account and then paying for the sneakers immediately, right? So he did that, but a few days later, he looked at his balance and it wasn't zero, as he was expecting. So he queried it, and it turns out So here's the problem. He had a bit of verification over the phone, and there was nothing about any extras mentioned. And then they said, okay, here's the account application. Just sign here, sign here, sign here, which he did. Please, people, don't do this. Don't do this. He signed where he was told to sign. He is very insistent that there was nothing, no extras mentioned, explained, or anything else. He just signed where he was told to sign. He says TFG, on the other hand, says, of course, that everything was beautifully explained and he agreed to everything. And what are we left with? We're left with his signed contract as the only proof of what went down. So nobody can say for sure.
So what did he get?
What are those extras? Yeah, what did he get? Good question. He got 3 club memberships.
What?
Platinum, Jet, and something called Sports Club. Yeah, so 60 Rand for one, 48 for the other. We're already over 108 Rand a month, plus 30. Now, tell me, balance of probabilities, Jane, how many people that just actually wanted to buy some sneakers cash would knowingly sign up for 3 club memberships with very overlapping benefits? I asked for the benefits. I'm not going to go into the detail, but trust
I don't
me,
think anybody would want that, right?
Exactly. A funeral plan. He already had a funeral plan. That was another 55 Rand. A legal plan. If you need legal advice, he didn't want or need that. And a fraud alert service, $450 a month. I would say that's actually worth it. So if someone tries to open an account in your name, you get alerted.
Okay.
Fine. But a total of, wait for it, Jane, 257 Rand 50 a month, every month, before he's bought a thing. So that's what we call VAS. That's what the industry calls VAS. And if you need more reason to fully read your contract or application for credit fully before you sign, there it is. Okay. So upsell. And now I'm going to talk about what we teased, and that is being made or invited to pay for these extras when you don't need them at all. You're already covered, thanks to the law of the land. Okay, so I recently bought a cosmetic product, not the wisest move, online from a company called Elysiant Care. And when I went to pay, there was a pre-selected extra charge of 59 Rand for package protection. And next to that was written, by deselecting, we are not liable for lost, damaged, or stolen items. So it's like, hold on a minute. Okay, we have the protection of the Consumer Protection Act in this country. Section 19C says, please listen, those that do online shopping, goods to be delivered remain at the supplier's risk until the consumer has accepted delivery of them. Right? So that it goes AWOL, it gets stolen, the truck is in an accident, whatever the case may be. It wasn't put in your hand. Everything up till that moment is the supplier's responsibility, the supplier's loss, right? It's their risk. So here's them. And so I took umbrage. I wrote to the company. I mean, you can't say that if someone doesn't pay that extra, then there's, they are not going to have any cover, because that's illegal. So I got a response that said, this is a value-added service, added value actually, same thing, offered by the logistics company. It's not value-added, it's profit for them. Purchasing this option will allow the logistics company to handle the package with more care during transport. Can you actually believe this?
Wow.
Will allow so they'll take more care, and if you don't pay it, then, sorry for you. Actually, no, it's sorry for them. Yeah. If you don't purchase this, I was told, that's okay too. If your package is damaged later, please contact us. No, they're not saying of course we'll cover it. We'll resend. Okay, so that was worrying. And when I posted that, Jane, there was a lot of response, and many people said, I'm not a Shein shopper, but many people said, oh, Shein does the same thing. So I had a look, and I just put something in the basket. It wasn't very high value, and they said it was 17 Rand extra for, I can't remember what they called it, but the same thing. Basically insurance on something going wrong with the package, it not reaching me at all or reaching me in a damaged state. I said, I wrote to the media team. I said, how is it calculated and how is it justified given the legal protection that South African consumers enjoy pre-delivery, thanks to the CPA? Pay close attention to the response. Good day! Exclamation mark. Thank you for reaching Shein customer service. I actually sent a media query. I understand your frustration regarding this matter and I sincerely apologies for it. However, please be advised that this fee is only optional. So nothing as one would expect saying, yes, you're right, and if something went wrong, we'd cover it. So I'm saying push back, proceed with caution. This is a very, very worrying situation. The other thing I wanted to talk about on the same vein, and I get a lot of this, Jane, is that, and I've briefly mentioned it on the show before, car dealerships selling cars, used cars, all the extras that get added on, and you'll see warranties there. And in the case I got just yesterday, it was, what was the extra? 13,500 Rand, if you don't mind. And no detail, no with this company, no do you want to choose which will suits you better. And that's because, well, first of all, they get a nice little add-on. And that gets, into your deal, it gets financed. So you're adding interest on that over the term. And when this woman pushed back, she was told, oh, well, this is the company. If you don't want it, we can take it off. It's not compulsory. But people who don't notice and don't know that they don't need to take it, because sometimes it's positioned as compulsory. When something goes wrong with the car in the first few months, as often happens, and you go back to them, they say, we'll claim on your warranty. Now, again, Consumer Protection Act, we have a wonderful protection for the first 6 months after we've bought something. It's Section 56, and it says if something develops a defect, the supplier is responsible, has to take responsibility for it. In other words, pay for it, in the case of a car, pay for it to be fixed. But if you don't know any better, you go along with, okay, I have to claim on the warranty. And those aftermarket warranties are notorious for what they don't pay. So they, they exclude a lot of things. And they'll also, you look at the big print and you think, oh, I've got 100,000 Rand car. That's great. But what you're not looking at is that each component has a limit. So you're not going to get fully paid. So please know you have CPA protection for the first 6 months and don't buy the warranty unless you want to and then buy it yourself.
It's a topic that's really winding me up.
It's a lot.
It really is. Okay, we're going to take a spot break now. We've got some comments that I'm going to put to you when we come back.
Team, summer is game time in Mzansi. Every tap, scan, swipe, it all adds up. And FNB is giving us big rewards, partner deals, e-bucks, defense tips, and chances to score experiences money can't buy. But you're only in the game if you paid with FNB. So stay sharp, spend clever, and let's dominate. Get in the game with FNB. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, Northrise FSP and credit provider. NCRCP 20. T's and C's, earn rules and limits apply.
Step into a world of unforgettable experiences in Dubai. From luxury beaches to underwater adventures. From authentic traditions to futuristic museums. Make it a Dubai adventure to remember with Emirates. Fly to Dubai from one of 3 gateways in South Africa. Start your holiday the moment you board with delicious regional meals, complimentary drinks, and up to 6,500 channels of entertainment. Fly Emirates, fly better.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is streets ahead. Warrior Paints. Affordable, lasting luxury.
You want a new car, but prices keep climbing, the timing doesn't feel right, the deals are never good enough. Until now. The Motor Select Demo Deal Dash is back this Friday and Saturday only. Get up to 100,000 Rand trade-in assist on over 1,800 demo models across 26 leading brands, all backed by SA's largest and leading dealer network. It's just 2 days. Visit motorselect.co.za to shop our demo range now.
You know what success looks like. Now discover why focus is the driving force behind every success story. Catch 702 in conversation with Momentum on The Money Show with Stephen Critters every Wednesday, discussing the science of success. Step into the mindset of top financial achievers and discover how your thinking, behavior, and focus can shape lasting financial success. Don't miss Momentum's Science of Success Festival 2025, streaming live on 14 November. Register now on momentum.co.za. Momentum, your journey to success on 702. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
702.
Nola knows.
All right, I'm speaking to Wendy Nola, and if you have anything to ask her, I mean, some messages have come through already about so many issues facing consumers today. I mean, what we're talking about is these sneaky little add-ons. Give us a call on 011 883 0702. You can also WhatsApp me on 072 702 1702. Wendy, we were talking about that poor gentleman who paid 1,400 for a pair of sneakers, and then he was offered a discount if he opened his account, and then suddenly there was this total of 257 Rand 50 a month for things that he certainly doesn't need, a membership plan, a digital plan, a funeral plan. One of the listeners, Masema Hopotso, said he should use the legal plan to get the contract reversed.
The problem with that, and that's a really nice comment.
Yes.
I appreciate it. But again, there's a signature on the contract, and that's all I've got to go with. There's no video or a sound recording of the interaction. And so I put it to them, why don't you, we know this does happen from time to time, that there's misrepresentation. These people earn commission for signing people up to accounts, right? Let's not forget that. So I said, why don't you make it compulsory for them to be recorded?
Yeah.
And, I always ask companies, and it's always a no. There's always a reason why they can't do it. So I say, make your own recording. If you're signing a gym contract, there's nothing to stop you doing it. You need it's very important what they're saying to you. And I would love people to make more use, get better value, talk about value out of the very expensive smartphones that we carry around with us. It's got beautiful technology in it, and use it, record things, video them, just you don't have to video it. You can just do a sound recording, right? It's less intrusive and awkward to hold a phone up. But if someone's giving you a spiel, say, I hope you don't mind, I just need to record this for my own protection.
Yeah.
Why not?
But I mean...
Why must they hold all the cards?
They know human nature, don't they? Because you get offered a discount, you're like,
exactly.
Excuse me, like, oh, yeah, this is fantastic. Nobody's going to read the small print because it's usually so boring, and it's always hidden there somewhere. And they get you.
Yes. So what I say to companies is, and I know that the average consumer has an aversion to reading small print, right? We all know that. So you've got a choice as a company. You either get to exploit that for your own gain, or you need to come up with ways and means of protecting the consumer against themselves. Yeah. And I'll leave it to you to decide which ones they fall to generally. Yeah.
And highlight what it is. I mean, that's outright theft. And
but
Tombi
said, sorry, you see, exactly. Yes. No, I'm saying when I push back on these, I'll get told, no, it happened. That's the sales agent that's been with us for 5 years. It's never been. What do I do, Jane? I have to roll over and say, okay, well, I'm just going to talk about this as a warning to others. Read the contract. Please read the contract.
Okay, yeah, and when there are people standing behind you in a queue as well, it's, you want to get it done as quickly as possible.
I know.
And Tombi Perry says, my 70-year-old mother was charged funeral policy without her approval. It was a mayhem to cancel. I mean, that's the hard thing, isn't it?
You can cancel that anytime.
So what would the factors be that you see? Wendy?
What do you mean for the funeral policy?
With this kind of thing, yes. I mean, what? I mean, I know that I'm asking you to guess here, but if it's a problem to cancel, what sort of route?
No, if it's a problem to cancel, well, I'd love that to come to me. But I mean, they just need to escalate it. Some older people only want to be, they're more comfortable being in a store face to face. They're not comfortable doing anything digitally. And that leaves them open to this kind of abuse because there's no record of what they're saying and what the person in the store said back to them, right? So they might be saying, yes, we'll cancel. They walk away. It doesn't happen. I get this a lot, not just with the add-ons, but with, the contracts and the accounts themselves. So I would say, if you're not comfortable digitally, then ask a child or someone in your community or family that's able to help you, and send an email to their accounts, or you can find it online, customer care, whatever the case may be, and then you've got a record of saying, I didn't agree to this, please cancel it immediately. First of all, show me proof of how I agreed to it, and then I'd show a contract that was signed that had a pre-selected thing for the funeral policy, and you got no proof that it was pre-selected. But I would say stop engaging in the store. Go online, send them an email, and then you start having a record of your interactions.
Shane asks, does the Consumer Protection Act override the terms of a contract, even where the agreement suggests otherwise?
Good question. Thank you for that, Shane. Companies in short cannot contract outside of the law. So if they have come up with a term or condition that is not compliant with the National Credit Act or the Consumer Protection Act, then it is null and void. It's invalid. It's not binding on you, even if you've signed it.
Okay. So what are the other examples? I was just thinking, I was just looking here at this car warranty, and I just wanted to ask you something. I mean, I suppose it's different for flights, right? I mean, if you lose, you do get pressurized to. No, okay.
Yes, thank you for that. That's another one that I deal with a lot. So sometimes they're pre-selected, and I used to give the airlines hell about that. So some do pre-selected and some don't. But when you booking online, you'll always come to that. Would you like to protect your well, there are two forms of insurance. One would be for, if you need to cancel, you get your money back, or the other one is for your luggage. And you're right, the Consumer Protection Act covers both those things. One, in terms of the section around being able to cancel advance bookings.
Yeah.
So there cannot be a blanket no refunds on cancellations.
Really?
It should be a sliding scale. Yeah, but
okay.
And the other one is they also, and I have some sympathy with the airlines now in this, because they're at AXA and the baggage handlers' mercy. So they have to use them. They don't run their own baggage sorting and carrying system. So I've actually been under our Tambo's into their luggage handling area, and
frightening.
Snapped wheels everywhere, etc. But the point is that you give your money to an airline, and they are required in terms of the CPA to take the necessary professional, efficient, whatever care of it. And if they don't, you have a claim against them. And so saying that you're not going to have any recourse unless you take insurance is another example of them making you pay for something that you legally have free right to. Practically, if you have the habit of checking in your luggage, I would say spare yourself some trouble and just take that, because to fight the airlines on this one is difficult. I would have no difficulty, but someone else I would predict might not have any joy. So
okay, so and you can change a flight, or you can cancel it, and you should be getting your money back, or it should be laid out to you that there's a certain, as you say, sliding scale.
Yeah, it depends. If you're going to cancel it at the last minute, where it's all about what reasonable chance do they have when they make an effort to rebook. So that the idea is not to enrich the supplier, right? So that they get double pay for the same service.
Yep.
But nor is it for them to lose out if your plans change. But this flexibility thing is big. If you notice, Lyft, their tagline is the most flexible airline. So they will give you flexibility and the right to chop and change your flights, cancel and amend and whatever without extra cost. So they're going on that. And that being a direct result of COVID, when so many people got burnt with their
including me.
flight bookings.
Yes.
So that's definitely something we should be comparing when we're looking for services. Look way beyond the actual price of the ticket or the item. Look at their policies around flexibility, their after sales, their returns. I'm always saying that is a very big consideration, and if you ignore that, at your peril.
All right, and I think your wise words are that we should read what gets put in front of us and always assume that there's something maybe dodgy happening that we need to be exposed to. It's at 2:30, time for the news headlines. Bali.
Thanks, Jane. Good afternoon. Police in KZN have revealed that in January this year, an SAPS employee made changes to Stuart Sharnick's criminal record. Sharnick has accused the police of tarnishing his image, and yesterday he laid charges against crime detection boss Dumsani Khumalo. This after Khumalo listed Sharnick's criminal record while giving evidence at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Suspended acting EMPD head Julius Mkhwanazi was willing to die for former Ekurhuleni city manager Imogen Mashazi. This is contained in a video from a 2023 Christmas party where Mkhwanazi publicly announced his allegiance to Mashazi. The video was played before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today as part of the evidence presented by former Ekurhuleni head of employee relations Xolani Ngqiza. And Police Minister Senzo Mchunu Chief of Staff Cedric Nkabinde says he is close friends with KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and they even travelled together on personal errands. Nkabinde also says Mkhwanazi helped him to find a job when he was unemployed after leaving the Independent Police Investigative Directorate. He has been giving evidence before Parliament today. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 3 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Calvin Alex area, we still have those roadworks slowing down traffic on the N3 in both directions. This is between London Road and the Batoon Exchange. Otherwise, the rest of Gauteng 702 land looking pretty good. No serious accidents have been reported on our highways. Just look out for those roadworks as well that are likely to cause delays as the afternoon progresses. That's in the Sunwood Park area on the N17 eastbound between Rondebolt and Carnival City. And traffic lights still not working. Edenville, Morafontein Road and Van Riebeek. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Part of the 702 family.
Hi 702 lenders, my name is Karabo Siputi from Johannesburg. I'm a regular 702 listener. I find it very informative, from breaking news to current news, travel, entertainment. I'm always going to listen to 702 for as long as I'm here. And yeah, keep up the good work and keep informing us and empowering us with all the knowledge.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk.
Classics on Turf is back, where golf and classical music meet in one unforgettable Johannesburg night. Join 702 at Kalani Country Club on Friday, 14th of November, as Kutlwano Masota leads a full orchestra bursting with energy, colour and rhythm. Sharing the stage, Judith Sapuma brings her velvet voice and unmatched charm to a proudly South African musical celebration. Your ticket includes delicious canapes and welcome drinks, and with a rainproof setup, the show goes on no matter the weather. Book now at cricket.co.za. Classics on Turf is proudly made possible by Telkom and brought to you in partnership with 702.
For 3 consecutive years, Nedbank has been recognized as the best investment bank in South Africa at the Global Banking and Finance Review Awards. Whether helping clients navigate cross-border risks or building financing frameworks that support market reform, Nedbank is a partner in more than just capital. We're part of the architecture supporting Africa's renewable energy future. See money differently. Nedbank. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider.
Since December 2024, South Africa has proudly led the G20, guided by a powerful theme: solidarity, equality, and sustainability. From the heart of Africa, we bring in fresh voices and bold ideas, united by a commitment to build a future where no one is left behind, where economies grow fairly, and where our planet's health guides every decision. South Africa's G20 Presidency 2025, together shaping tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the Department of International Relations and Cooperation.
Lock into roaring rugby action this season with Hollywood Bets. Bet 50 Rand or more on any Vodacom United Rugby Championship fixture, and you could win a share of 300,000 Rand in cash, betting vouchers or prizes. This includes Smeg bar fridges, macro vouchers, a Sharks captain run, or a player circle experience. Only the toughest team will prevail. Bet now and let the rugby rumble begin.
T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
You can become a victim of a legal problem, wrongful arrest, assault, uncontested divorce, rental disputes, maintenance matters, or labor problems. It can happen to you. Clientele Legal provides tough professional lawyers for an affordable monthly premium. Our legal team is standing by to assist you 24 hours a day. Join today. SMS LEGAL to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
702.
Nolan knows.
So we've been talking about those little sneaky add-ons that you might not notice when you sign up for an account, tracking devices. Wendy, I know you want to talk about that. The things when you buy a car that are added that you don't necessarily know is in there, and then suddenly you're paying a whole lot of money and makes it very difficult to cancel. We've got a couple of callers on the line, which I'm going to put through to you. They've been waiting for a bit, Wendy. Mantla from Kempton Park. Sure. Tell us about what happened with your car and the engine number. Hi, Mantla, can you hear us? All right, we've lost Mantla. Nelly from Limpopo has been complaining about a herbal company. And what happened when you ordered some products from them, Nelly?
I ordered some products from there. Then on the 31st, I ordered that product. And unfortunately, I forget to send the proof of payment, whereas I have already paid through a bank. Now, when I communicate with them, they said I didn't send the proof of payment. I sent that proof of payment together with the order form. After that, they said it is too late. They can't give me that product, and I will forfeit my money because it is too late. Now, I'm complaining about that product because I need that product. I help my customers. I help myself. I help my husband. And I don't want to forfeit that money.
Okay, Nelly, hello. This is Wendy. How did you make payments? You went online, and then the online retailer then creates several payment or gives you several payment options. I mean, I buy online all the time, and I don't send proof of purchase. They only confirm the order when it's been paid. So how did you pay? If you could talk me through the mechanics of that, please.
I paid through the bank. I used my app to pay that electronic.
So you did use your credit card, or did you do an EFT?
It's an EFT.
Okay. So just a word about EFTs versus credit card. It's better to pay with a credit card online if you have one, because you have the protection of chargeback if you don't get what you paid for. So you've done business with this company before, it sounds like, right? And there's been no problem.
Since last year, I'm now about 2 years selling that product, using my app to pay that product. And
okay.
I always send the proof of payment, but that day I didn't send. Unfortunately, I didn't send the proof of payment. They told me on the 13th of September that I didn't send the proof of payment, but they can see the money on the system.
That is crazy, Nelly. That sounds like fraud to me. They're acknowledging they got your payment, so the timing is irrelevant. You've paid for the product. They must now send it to you. What is the problem? What is the issue with the timing? Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
The problem is that they don't want to give me the product or refund me, because the last time when I was talking to the manager, she said, may you please send me your bank details so that I can refund you. Then I sent that bank details. She didn't send that money back to me. Then when I called her, she didn't respond. When I WhatsApp her, she didn't respond.
Well, that doesn't sound very encouraging. The only thing I can suggest to you then, Nelly, is that you get my email address from our producer, Prashida, and send it to me, including the dates you paid, the bank account or your ID or something that's a reference for the company, and I'll ask them. I mean, may I ask how much you paid them?
Okay. May you please send me your email address?
Okay, so we're going to put you back to our producer, and she'll give you the details. And remember to tell me how much you paid.
I paid 1,610.
Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay, I will do my best to get to that case. Okay.
Okay, Mammy.
Thanks for calling, Nelly from Limpopo there. Mantla, we've got you back from Kempton Park. Go ahead about your car.
Hi, Nelly. I bought this car from a certain dealership, and after I received the papers for issues, when I took it for repair, then we realized the engine number in the car and the engine, the papers that I got from this dealership were not matching. I phoned the dealership. I told them, they said, no, bring it back to our nearest branch. So I took it to one of their branches in Germiston. And from there, they said, write a report. I gave them a report of what happened. I took the car, the issues that I had. And then they said, we'll send to head office. So we waited for head office. And at office, they said, no, the car, you bought it on promotional auction. And it's not auction of repossessed car, but it's just whenever maybe they're making special promotional, they say, no. Then you must, in that case, see to it how you clear the engine. I said, but with Poppy Act, I can't get it of the previous owner to find out what happened and whatever. This should have been declared. They said, no, if you're not happy with us, report us to Motor Industry Ombuds of South Africa, which I did last year, November, and nothing has happened from there. And back the dealership, I said, dealership, you can give me 70% back of what I bought. Take the car back. They were not even open. They could have said, because I was waiting to just, because there's no way that I'll drive a car that has got a engine number that is not matching. And it's been a year now.
Of course. Okay. First thing, I want this promotional auction. I'm not familiar with the term, but I do know that auctions are not covered by the CPA and nor are private sales. So when you buy cars like that, you're pretty much on your own if something emerges that's not great afterwards. So did you actually bid for this car in an auction, or are they just throwing that? They're just throwing that term at you to make you go away.
The car was for sale at the dealership. But after some time, I think when it's been sold, they promote to say promotional. Maybe they give you a bit of a discount. So yes, I did. I bought the car on that auction, a promotional auction.
On an auction, so there were you and other people online or in the dealership making bids for the car. And you got the winning bid.
Yes, the dealership. Yes.
Okay, you don't sound too clear, because an auction is a very specific way of buying something, and it's very different from a straight sale. And for consumers, the consequence of that is with an auction you have no recourse, and with an ordinary sale you do. So we're going to have to chat off air, I think, Mansla, to get to the bottom of what happened here. But it certainly, I could only help you if it wasn't an auction, but it doesn't sound to me like it actually was an auction. It sounds to me like they telling you it was an auction so that you don't have any recourse. So let's chat off air and see if we can get to the bottom of that. But just a warning to other people who are thinking of buying on auction, unless you're in the trade or you're very much a fundi and you know how to check the background of cars, I would not suggest that as a way of buying a car, because it is essentially a foot-toots purchase. You have no safety net.
Thanks for that call, Mantla. Right, we've got a couple of callers waiting for us, but just let's listen to this first.
I'm Samela Kelboy, an actress and mom to 3 lovely kids. I worry about how sugar can make them sick. Drinking sugary drinks could lead to diabetes, heart disease, and obesity as they get older. Diabetes is one of the top causes of death in South Africa. I'm joining the fight to demand government puts our health ahead of greedy industry profits. Government must act now. Increase the health promotion levy on sugary drinks. Sign the petition on heala.org. That's HEALA.org.
Experience a unique musical journey as the Mzansi National Philharmonic Orchestra presents its national tour, Voices of Home, featuring legendary conductor Marin Alsop and homegrown global sensation Abel Selikow. The program includes Seliko's Four Spirits Cello Concerto paired with Rachmaninoff's Romantic Symphony No. 2. Concerts take place at the Linda Auditorium on Wednesday the 10th and Thursday 11th December. Book your tickets now at Cricket.
Day 20, awaiting proof of payment. Day 30, still waiting. Day 40, funds finally cleared. In business, credit with 55 interest-free days keeps you moving. We get it. Get an ABSA Business Credit Card. Use over 50% of your credit and initiation fees will be on us. Offer ends 31 December 2025. Apply at absa.co.za/business. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. ABSA, your story matters.
702.
Nola knows.
Wendy, we got a couple of callers waiting, but I don't want to miss the opportunity of talking about tracking devices because it's something that affects a lot of people. If you could just give us a précis of what you're seeing.
Yes. So this is something that I haven't mentioned before, and I'm going to be brief so that we can take some more calls. I don't like the idea of people holding on.
Sure.
So on the one hand, I get a lot of complaints from people who have signed car tracking contracts, usually 3 years, and when they sell the car, they are furious then to go on to discover that they can't just cancel the contract, not without a huge cancellation penalty, because the tracking company doesn't care, much like the gyms or the cell phone companies. They don't care whether you use the product or the service or not. You are tied in for 3 years, and if you want to get out of it, you've got to pay a fairly significant percentage of all the remaining subscriptions for the remainder of the term, right? So the only way to get around that is to buy the tracking device upfront, which I would strongly recommend. You've got to find the money upfront, but that way you've got the device, you own it, and you're just paying for tracking services, and you can cancel with a month's notice at any time. Also, you're not paying interest on that tracking device for the full term of your loan, right? So the flip side of that is that I had I heard from a woman called Andrea yesterday. So she expressed interest. This is the same case that had the 13,000 Rand warranty, by the way. She expressed interest in a used BMW. She was given a quote, and among the many extras was 5,000 Rand that just said Tracker. Well, Tracker is the brand name. It's more the full, we should say, tracking contract, right? And so she queried that and said, look, that's a lot, 5,000 Rand. What is it for? I'd rather do my own tracking deal. And none of the trackers are already installed. So I have a very strong suspicion they're not going to pre-install them. This car has been acquired and it's got somebody else paid for that tracking, right? So 5,000 Rand. And then when she said, well, how do I activate? They sent her a link to the brochure of the tracking company. But 5,000 Rand just put on there. I mean, have you ever? I'm really, really looking forward to interrogating the dealership involved on that one to see what he says. But that's something else to look for on the extras. So
I look forward
don't
to
do the warranty and don't do tracker.
Look forward to getting your results. Okay, Ibrahim from Jozi, sorry to keep you waiting. Talk to us about what happened with your cell phone network.
So it's Ephraim, thank you. So, I mean, we've all have these networks. We all have these like 2-year contracts. It includes the device. And then at the end of 2 years, we like think, okay, fine. So my phone bill should be coming down because I'm not paying for the device anymore. But I've only recently found out, and I've been with a specific company for 25 years. I've only recently found out that if you, and we all actually get these calls from various service providers and subcontractors of these cell phone companies that say, would you like a new phone? Your contract has expired, all of that. So you ignore them, no, I'm happy, my phone's working, it's all okay, I don't need anything else. Then somebody told me, why is your phone bill so high? I said, I don't know. They said, well, have you tried SIM only? I'm like, what is SIM only? They said, you phone them, you tell them you only want a SIM card contract, you don't want the full contract. So for the last few years, they've been charging me for their regular premium, and since I said I want SIM only, My cell phone account has dropped by 1,000 rand.
Sure.
And they're saying to me, the service provider is saying to me, no, we call you at the end of the 2-year period and ask you if you want an upgrade. If you say no, we just carry on charging you. And I think that's criminal.
So you've opened up a big can of worms here, Ibrahim. So
It's
yes,
Ephraim.
a lot of people think they... Ephraim?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that their contracts expire automatically at the end of the term, where they don't. They roll over to month unless you do something. What used to happen was that it would carry on month to month. It's pretty much the same subscription that you'd always been paying. And I used to tell people, because I've been doing this for more than 25 years, when you move on to month, if you're happy with it, then contact them and say, look, I've paid off the hardware now, I've paid off the phone, so my subscription should drop, and then they would give it to you. But now in recent years, what they do is, if you go over into month to month, the subscription can be 2 or 3 times more. And when you query it, they say, oh, but you're out of contract now, so you've lost the benefit of the promotional subscription. So that's a very neat way of them.
I'm hearing what you're saying, but in my case, I've still got the exact same package for 1,000 rand a month less, just because I said to them, I want some only.
Yes, so I was building up to that. So that you've found a way of getting around that, Ephraim. So well done, and thank you for sharing that tip, because something for our listeners to push back with and see what effect that would have on their bills. Can I just add one more thing? And that is the cell phone companies are very good at holding us to account, the contract, but and if we don't cancel, if we don't give them a month's notice, the thing carries on, and if it's at a much higher subscription, well, sorry for you. But the Act also requires them, because of the fact that originally the legislators wanted fixed-term contracts, such as cell phone contracts, to automatically expire at the end of the term. Cell phone industry said, oh, no, the poor consumers, they might not realize, and they might be in a dire situation and need to make an emergency call, and suddenly the phone's going to be dead because they're disconnected from the network. So the compromise on that was that between 40 and 80 days before that end date of the contract, the cell phone network provider is supposed to contact us in some recordable way and say, right, your contract is ending, the initial term is ending at the end of November. These are your options. If you don't take out a new contract, please understand that your fee is going to go to this amount. We have these new contracts if you want to, etc. But what they do, how they interpret that, is that they'll send you a few marketing SMSs saying these are our new deals. I've been pushing back on that for a long time.
There's no recourse at all.
There's except exposure by me and a few others, it doesn't really hurt them. Okay. But it
Ladies
is
and
very,
gentlemen,
very annoying.
when your contract expires, tell the service provider that you want a PIN-only contract, SIM-only contract.
Thanks, Ephraim.
Thank you.
Thanks for that advice. Thanks for the call. SIM-only contract. Machabi, you've been waiting for a while from Pretoria. Tell us about your defective sofas.
Hi, Wendy. Thank you for taking my call.
Go ahead. Sure. Tell us what happened.
So I purchased a set of couches from a particular furniture store on the 6th of October, and they were delivered on the 23rd of October. Upon delivery, I picked up a few issues with the couches. There was some discoloration on the couches, as if the leather treatment was not applied properly, and the firmness as well was not the one that I requested from the store. And also there was mismatches with the stitching and finishing of the couches. And one other side on the right-hand side, which they admitted to as well, it could not be attached properly to the couch due to incorrect measurements. So I called the store a couple of times and sent pictures, and I sent emails. I've been ignored to this day. And I actually sent you an email, I think 2 days ago. I know you're really busy regarding this matter.
Sorry, I haven't seen it. Okay.
Yes. So to this date, no response, no action from them. And I'm actually living uncomfortable in my own home. I'm sitting on camp chairs because I'm avoiding to make the couches dirty.
Okay. So there was something you did that made me think this is going to be a special order deal. You said that the measurements were incorrect. So did you specify the dimensions and the design of your lounge suite, or have I misunderstood that?
So the measurement in terms of, where you rest your legs, like the L-shaped couch, and you rest your legs on that L shape. So the cushion on that couch does not fit in properly. It's not a matter of me not providing them the right.
So I understand. It was a standard order. You didn't make any special instructions. You didn't personalize the offering. It was exactly the same thing that they offered to other people, right? Standard.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes things a lot simpler. All I can say is that this is well within 6 months CPA warranty that you have. It went wrong within weeks, right? And so you get to choose the remedy. They don't need to decide. If you want them to come and take it back and refund you in full, then that is what they must do. So what recourse have you asked them for?
So I immediately, when they delivered the couches, I requested that they take back the couches and requested an immediate refund. But I have not received any response.
Okay.
Today.
Well, let's see what we can do. Maybe if you send me you've sent me an email already. Give me your name again so I can look it up in my inbox, please.
It's Motsh Motabi.
Okay, I'll have a look for it. Thank you, and we'll chat further on email. I just want to say one thing because it's coming up a lot for me now with the buying of couches. It's not I don't know, this doesn't sound like a cheap purchase, but a lot of people will buy sort of bargain leather furniture or other furniture. And you've got that 6 month CPA period, but with these sort of dodgy couches, cheapies, they don't tend to go wrong within the first 6 months. They start peeling and doing other things after the 6 months, and then you've got no recourse. So it's really it's a good investment to pay a little bit extra from a very well-known outlet and have something that's going to last you through its warranty period, or it's the first 6 months and way beyond. I got one today that's I think 18 months old. It's wearing terribly, and the company said, well, it's out of warranty, sorry for you. So just a warning there, because when they go wrong, they don't go wrong in time for you to benefit from the CPA warranty.
Okay, Matabi, good luck with that. If anyone wants any more information from you, Wendy, consumer@nerla.co.za. Wendy, always good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jane.
You are not dreaming. You are repeating. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Summer's almost here, and so is the magic of the Stodels pot promotion. For a limited time, enjoy up to 50% off pots of every size, shape and color. Big or small, indoor or outdoor, plastic or ceramic. There's something special about finding the perfect pot, the one that brings color, life and joy to your garden. Hurry, this once-a-year event ends 16 November. Visit your nearest Stodels Garden Centre today. Stodels, create happiness.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actis-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
And the time is now 3 o'clock. I'm Jane Dutton. Thanks for being with me today. I'll see you for more again tomorrow. It's time for the news.
This is EWN.
Nkabinde's parliamentary testimony cut short due to contradictions, and KZN police say the criminal record of Stuart Sharnick was changed. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Let's begin with news just in. The testimony of Cedric on how to deal with contradictory statements that he has made during his time in the hot seat today. Nkabinde has been accused of lying about his relationship with controversial businessman Brown Mokgotsi. Today marked day one of his testimony before Parliament's ad hoc committee looking into allegations of police corruption. Earlier, he told MPs he is close friends with KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and that they even travelled together on personal errands. Babalondenze has more.
Most of Cedric Nkabinde's evidence so far has focused on his relationship with KZN Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and suspended Minister Senzo Mchunu. Mkhwanazi had earlier testified that Nkabinde drove him to Minister Mchunu's private residence in KZN and they were on good terms. But Nkabinde says while Mkhwanazi may have been angry at Mchunu, they were still close.
General Mkhwanazi was a very close friend of mine. I think it's safe to say it was a boys' trip.
But Nkabinde distanced himself from controversial businessman Brown Mokgotsi, saying he got in touch with him through Mchunu.
The minister gave me Brown Mokgotsi's number for me to facilitate with Brown Mokgotsi. Then in turn, Brown Mokgotsi ended up knowing me.
Babalondense, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Police in KZN have revealed that in January this year, an